My job today is to teach you something, and yours is to learn. Hey guys, so today's topic is transgender terminology. If you know someone who's trans, I guarantee that you will need to know what these words are and what they mean. And if you don't know someone who's transgender, well, guess what? That's a lie now because you're watching me. I am now your trans best friend here to educate and entertain. Now, I brought my glasses because I feel like I'll be taken much more seriously with them on. See, my IQ went up 10 points. Okay, let's get to learning. The first thing you should know is what the letters FTM and MTF stand for. The first one translates into female to male, and this is a person who was born with the sex of a female and transitions to being male. The latter is male to female, and it's just the opposite thing. The next word is cisgender, and this is another gender identity. So if you're born a boy and you're comfortable being a boy, you like being a boy, then you are a cisgender male. In other words, your perception of your sex agrees with your perception of your gender. Remember people, sex and gender are not the same thing. Sex is what you are assigned at birth, and your gender is what you believe yourself to be. The two don't always line up. Next word, well, it's more of a letter. It's just T. When a trans guy is talking about T, he's talking about testosterone. T just shortens it down. Now, testosterone is a hormone that is responsible for producing these masculine secondary sex characteristics. And just basically, it allows you to grow facial hair, body hair, deepens your voice, and it makes muscle growth a little bit more easier. T is often a goal for many FTMs, but not all FTMs want T or go on T. Okay, the next thing you should know is what a binder is. A binder is a sort of compression vest thing worn for the purpose of making the go away, to flatten it down. The actual act of binding is very uncomfortable and sometimes it's painful, so have sympathy for your trans person. You should know that there are correct ways to bind and then there are dangerous ways to bind. If your trans guy is using ace bandages or tape to try and flatten themselves down, make them stop, because that is very, very dangerous, because it could damage your insides. It causes internal damage. Take care of your trans buddy. The safest way to bind, hands down, is to use a binder. And this is what it looks like. Okay? Just like a little vest. And you could see that in this front part, there's more layers of fabric. And this is what's used to bind down. And in the back, it's a little bit thinner. So now when the trans guy you know is talking about their binder, you know they're talking about this, okay? And not this. If you think they're talking about this, then you are being silly, and I've taught you better. Don't embarrass me. Binders make it very hot and sweaty in the summer, and they constrict breathing, but there's a reason that trans guys put up with this. Dysphoria. Dysphoria is the evil character here, people. We don't like dysphoria. Even if you're not trans, dysphoria is not a friend. The type of dysphoria that transgenders specifically experience is called gender dysphoria. It's feeling like your body does not reflect your true gender, and this can cause severe levels of distress, anxiety, and depression. It is such an unbelievably bad feeling. I wouldn't wish it on my worst enemy. Not that I have enemies. Maybe I do, you don't know me. Now, each trans person can feel dysphoric about different things. For example, I'm very dysphoric about my voice, my height, and my chest. But that doesn't mean that, another trans guy over there is gonna feel the same way. Maybe for them, they're fine with their voice and their height. They're maybe dysphoric about having wide hips or a lack of body hair. Different trans guy, different problems. So if you know a trans guy who has a high-pitched voice and is maybe a little bit on the skinny side, don't point it out or, you know, tell him to man up or something, because believe me, he's trying his best. On to the next thing, which can be a little bit awkward, but it should be talked about. It's called packing. Packing is when you put something, whether it be like a bundled up sock or something a little bit more professional, I guess you could say, down in your pants, in your boxers, to make it appear as though there is a package there, to create a bulge. And I don't think I need to explain why that's done. Next is top surgery and bottom surgery, and they both explain themselves pretty well, I think. Top surgery is when the breast tissue is removed from the chest area to make it flat, and bottom surgery is done to create some junk down there. But you need to understand is that there's not one big glorified surgery, transgender surgery. Okay, there's many different procedures that can be done. Like when people ask, you know, have you gotten the surgery, the transgender surgery? You know, I'm like, which one? There's just so many that could possibly be done. Now on to the act of passing. Passing for a transgender is, you know, when they're walking down the street and other people see them and believe them to be the gender that they are living as. For example, I pass pretty well. It's only usually when I talk that my voice gives me away. But if I'm going about on my way doing whatever outside in the world, if someone were to see me, they think boy, because of my short hair, what I wear, and my body language. And that is passing. I just passed. And this is a good thing because this is what I'm aiming for. Up next is being stealth. Stealth is when there's a trans guy right there, but no one knows that he's transgender. You know, people just see a man and that is that. He's living his life as a perfectly normal male and he has no intention of anyone knowing otherwise. Some people choose to be stealth and some don't. It's not necessarily a good or bad thing, but if you find out that a guy is a transgender and he's living as stealth, then you do not out him. Outing is something I feel very strongly about. When a trans person is out, it means that the people around him, they know that he's transgender, they are aware. It's a little bit similar to when someone is out about their sexuality. Being out is something that you need to discuss with the transgender you know, because it might be different for them in their home versus at school or at work. So bottom line is that you should not out someone unless they've given you permission to. Like if you were going to introduce me to someone and you told them that I was transgender beforehand, you just outed me, that's not okay, because now that other person I was supposed to meet has all of these ideas and perceptions about who I am before they've even had the chance to meet me. That's not okay with me. Another example would be if we were to go to the store and the cashier called me he, which is good, and then you think you're correcting them by saying she. No, you just outed me again! And not only that, but you also disrespected me by using the wrong freaking pronouns, you soggy bowl of cereal, and I'm not taking you anywhere anymore. That's about it for this video, guys. I upload every Friday now, and be sure to come back next week when I will be talking about the great importance of pronouns. I really hope you've taken this opportunity to educate yourself, because there are few things worse than ignorance. And one of those things being arrogant enough to not educate yourself when you have the opportunity. If you found this video useful, give it a thumbs up. And if you know someone who would probably benefit from seeing this video, go ahead and share it with them, because I'm sure they would appreciate it. Don't forget to subscribe and follow me on my social media down in the description. Thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you next time.